Hey there, beautiful faces! Some of you may have noticed this little post on my Instagram story a few days ago about me collecting questions for today's video, and if not, I don't understand why, because I really made an effort this time, like posting it different places. But if you didn't see it, I'm sorry. You'll see it next time. Also, if it looks like I'm sweating, it's because I am sweating, because it's so hot in Denmark right now, and it has been for like 2 months now. It is right now 32 degrees Celsius outside, and that is around, I'm going to check, 89.6 degrees Fahrenheit. And many of you guys will probably be thinking, well, that's nothing compared to where I live. But you need to take into account that this type of warm weather is not normal in Denmark, so it is not normal either to have air conditioning in your house. And on top of it all, Denmark is a very humid country. So behind this smile, I'm slowly dying. Yeah, and therefore, if you can hear cars, people, etc., it's because my windows are wide open and they're going to stay that way. You should consider it a privilege that I haven't turned on my trusty fan. The only thing I have to cool me down is the wind blowing in hot air and my ice water. And also I have these cooling things from my freezer to cool down my feet. But enough about me sweating. I've done a couple of Snapchat Q&As like this in the past, and it's a type of video that I'll just keep making more of once in a while. And I really enjoy doing these types of videos because I get to interact a little more than usual with you guys, and it also gives me a feeling of what you might want me to do in future videos, plus you guys really seem to enjoy them, so it's a win-win. This time around though, I thought I would include my sweet followers on Instagram as well, so here's me answering your questions from Instagram. Title screen. So first of all, you guys are crazy. I remember a time where I was actually able to answer all questions I received for these type of videos. But unless you want a 3-hour video, that's not going to happen. And don't tell me you want that, because that rendering would be the end of my laptop. So I'm just going to pick the questions which I actually have an answer to, or just the ones which stand out to me. So if I fail to answer your question, it's most likely because I don't have an answer or because I remember answering it in a previous video. I will be taking the questions directly from Instagram, which means your username will be shown, and I'm under the impression that most of you guys would rather like to have a little shout out than me actually removing the username. I will leave a poll up here though, so you guys can vote whether or not you would like me to remove the username in future Q&As. Jesus Christ. Because if the majority of you would like it to be private, it's going to be that way next time. Anyway, I'm going to dive into the questions now. What's your favorite tattoo on your body and why? You see, this question always kind of puts me in the pick one child over the other situation. I don't have a favorite like that, but I really do like this part of my arm, like right here. It's just tied together in a really cool way, in my opinion, and also I've never really seen anyone with a unicorn similar to this before. My tattoo artist made it very mythical looking instead of just going full-blown My Little Pony, and I'm not that much of a girly girl, so I really like that. How do you keep your hair so long and healthy? Like, the secret is doing nothing. Like, literally do nothing to it. Like, before this summer's pink hair incident, I hadn't colored my hair for over 2 years. And other than the occasional necessary blow drying, I only use heat on my hair maybe 4 to 5 times a year. And that's usually straightening it for occasions when I want to look less long hair, don't care. If you see me with curls in my hair, it's because I often wear my hair in this twist bun on top of my head, like this one. So seriously, the best advice I have for you if you want long hair is try not to dye it and don't use heat. Heat is the killer. And also I cut my hair every 4 months because it helps the growth and it keeps it healthy looking. So you don't just have long dead hair, you have long healthy hair. Your favorite Danish movies? The Danes are actually known for being very good movie makers, but I personally try to avoid Danish movies because I'm the sci-fi fantasy Disney sort of person, and Danish movies tend to be very, I would describe it as grey-weathered and realistic. I do, however, love the thriller trilogy Kvinden i buret, Fasandræberne, and Flaskepost fra P. But usually you just know it's going to be a great movie if either Nikolaj Likos or Mads Mikkelsen is a part of it. What is your favorite place to visit in Denmark? Right on top of my head, I would say Tivoli Gardens is both a very beautiful and fun place to visit, especially at evening time. I also really like the city of Aarhus in general. You guys should totally go visit Den Gamle By, or the old city of Aarhus. It's this huge place where they've collected and reserved old buildings from around the country, and the staff are basically role-playing how it was living in Denmark in different time periods. Like, I think stuff like that is really interesting. This is totally random. How old is your dog? My beloved Kuno is 12 years old, and goofball Bjørn is 3. What is your favorite Danish candy? Danish candy. Skumbananer and chocofanta. Do you have a job beside YouTube? I just finished my studies this summer, so I'm currently job hunting, but during my studies, YouTube was my only part-time job. What is your favorite Danish food? 100% a good old Danish Christmas dinner with roast pork, sugar brown potatoes, red cabbage, gravy, potato chips, etc. That is the best. What is the best thing to do or see in your area for tourists? In general, just walking around in the city I live in is an experience because we have so many old and very well-kept buildings here. I currently live in Haderslev because Frederick studies here, and many Danish people do have a tendency of hating on our smaller cities such as Haderslev, maybe just because the big city culture is more popular, but personally I really think it's a beautiful city. And it's funny because when I made this video I got so many comments like, is that Aalborg? And no, it was just a quick casual stroll through Haderslev. I basically just strapped a camera to my boyfriend and went for ice cream. Sometimes you experience beautiful things if you just care to open your eyes once in a while. Do you think it's worth non-Danes still learning Danish? And do you have future tattoo plans? Stay beautiful. Oh. If you're just on vacation here or visiting, you don't need to learn Danish. Like, most Danish people understand English just fine. If you, however, do intend to stay or study here for a few years, I do advise that you actively try learning the language while you're here. Because as with many other countries, it's just easier for the Danes to let you into the social group if they don't constantly have to translate stuff for you. And Danes do have a tendency of only befriending people who already fit pretty well into their current... I'm so sorry. Into their current social group. So my advice for you is that you don't have to be able to speak the language before coming here, but once you're here, try learning it gradually. Oh yeah, and the tattoo thing. Yes, I am planning on getting a lot more. The only reason I haven't gotten any new ones for a while is because I just haven't got the money for it. I don't hate my neighbors. I don't hate my neighbors. Basically, I plan on having most of my body covered, and my next one will either be extending my sleeve over my shoulder area or a giant mermaid on my back. Either way, both will happen, so pray for money. Why do they have to drive back and forth? Oh, they might not have summer vacation, so they're coming home from work now. I really know how to pick my moments. What Danish word do you find the hardest to pronounce? Because I am Danish, I don't really find any Danish words hard to pronounce, but I can try and find some which you would probably find hard to pronounce. Yeah, we have some here. 30, blød, håndklæde. We can put that one together. 30 bløde håndklæder. Fløde, rugbrød, bøgetræ, hvedemel, eddike. Basically everything containing soft D's, and or O is a bitch to pronounce for foreigners. Yeah. No one likes the soft D's. Oh my god. Could you please stop living here for just a few hours? How have you been spending your summer? Whenever I haven't tried to go outside, like this. Favorite hard alcohol? I'm not really that big. Whoa, shit. Jesus. I'm not really that big on alcohol brands, but I do know I like most rums. But I am mostly just a wine girl. I love me some wine. Oh. I'm not kidding. I have 10 minutes of footage of just cars driving by. Okay, I'm just going to have to not care. I'm going to speak over it now. Does bay really mean poop in Danish? Yes and no. Bay is a word for poop in Danish, and A put together usually means A if the letter A is not available. So basically bay only means poop in Danish if you are Danish and writing on a foreign keyboard. Tips on the fear of going to die alone. Sorry for that. Oh my god. I'm sorry, that's not funny, but sweetie, that turned dark really quickly. You know, I think we all deep down have that fear, especially when we're in between relationships. I'm just guessing that's what you mean. I was single for 4 years before finding Frederick, and for the duration of that time I was friends with benefits with 2 ex-boyfriends. And it was not until I told both of them that I didn't want that anymore that I found Frederick. I truly believe that there's something psychological about you not mentally being ready to find someone new until you're actually fine being in a relationship with yourself. That, or I can recommend Tinder. My first Tinder date ever was Frederick. Can you believe that? What made you decide to start YouTube? It was actually a very smooth transition from the site modeling era. I had a very popular MySpace once, and once that died out, I moved over to Facebook. So I had this popular Facebook account, not like page, but account, and I was part of many different sites which promoted me and my photos. Those sites were called site modeling sites. It is not as kinky as it sounds, by the way, and during that period of time I started doing a few videos on YouTube and I got really into it. So I moved from Facebook to YouTube. How has your personal life been affected by your YouTube/social media presence? It has definitely opened a lot of doors for me. It was through YouTube I found out I wanted to take my multimedia designer education and work within the entertainment industry. Nothing makes me happier in this world than being able to entertain people. I am specialized within video and animation, so during my job hunting, this channel has also been one big resume for me. If it hadn't been for YouTube, I wouldn't be as good within my field as I am today, and I don't usually bring this up myself unless people ask me, but when they do, it also automatically generates a lot of respect. More than you would think. People get really interested, and once in a while I do get recognized in public, which is insane, and it almost always happens when I'm with friends or family, so again, respect. So thank you guys for always picking the absolute best moments, and that was not even sarcasm, I mean it. Like, it always happens at the best possible time. Have you ever been to Jutland? I most definitely said that name wrong. Yeah. I've been living in Jutland since I was 7, so I would go with yes. Hi Louise, should I study abroad in Denmark? Thinking of a master's degree. Tak. You know what? That's a very personal question. Many foreign students I've talked to have seemed very pleased with their study here in Denmark, so I would say go for it if you really feel like it. Are you and Frederick going to get married? We're not engaged, if that's what you're asking, but let me put it like this. I do want to get married someday, and I wouldn't be with Frederick if I didn't see a future with him. So, yeah. No, I don't have a private wedding inspiration board on Pinterest. Your favorite YouTuber, if you have one, of course. I think my favorite YouTuber must be the master himself, PewDiePie. I've been a subscriber of his since like 2010. I also watch a lot of Jacksepticeye and James Turner, or The Sim Supply, and Deligracy. I like watching Let's Plays. Oh, and Jenna Marbles, of course, Julian and Shane Dawson and Ryan Adams. Like, I watch everything they make. Which Danish stereotypes are you an example of? Let me just make a list. Well, for starters, look at me. I am reserved in public situations. Don't talk to me or my son at the supermarket. I don't jaywalk. I wear a lot of grey and black. I talk a lot about the weather. I consume a lot of bacon. Hygge is my favorite pastime. I like punctuality. It is safe to say that I am outspoken. It physically hurts me if I can't be honest in a certain situation. I do not make the first move in private social situations. Rye bread is the best. Should I go on? Pineapple on pizza. Get out! What is the best Danish drink? Non-alcoholic. My favorite Danish soda is Faxe Kondi. Like, it's similar to Sprite and 7-Up. Imagine that, but 100 times better. When you went to America, was there anything you specifically liked? I really liked how Americans are genuinely interested in foreign culture. Whenever people heard us talking, they stopped whatever they were doing and went straight over to us and asked us where we were from. Many of them didn't know what Denmark was, but they wanted to know more about it, and those who knew what Denmark was like, oh, that's the place where you got a lot of green, right? And it's really interesting to me because a Danish person would never do that in Denmark. I also loved how everything was exactly as expected, if you can say it that way. Coming from a small country, you expect the US to be huge, and not just the size of the country huge, but everything in it as well, like the buildings, the roads, the cars, and even when you order food, the portions are huge. You're just overwhelmed by everything. Oh, and refills to a Dane, that is so weird because in Denmark, drinks are so expensive and you guys are just giving them away for free. Half of my body was made out of soda when I got home. Why do the Danes and the Swedes have beef with each other? We like to tease each other, that's basically it. It's like having a sibling in the other room, like when you're by yourselves, you tease one another, and if an outsider comes into the picture and try to tease the other, you stand up for your bro, like you vote for him in Eurovision. The origin of it all might be because we've been killing each other back and forth throughout history, but seriously, the few who talk shit about the other country today and actually mean it is what I would call the lesser educated part of the population. What is your favorite season? Like, I really like winter because of all the festivities, and I also love the smell of frost. Like, that sounds weird, but I do. The last couple of years I have been missing summer a lot because we've had awful mediocre rainy summers for the past 10 years. Like, maybe we had a good month in 2014, but that was it. But damn, did we get summer this year? It has been anywhere in between 22 to 32 degrees for 2 months now, and it hasn't been raining since 1st in June. It may not sound that insane to you guys, but let me put it like this. Not having a rainy day for a week in Denmark is weird. Not having a rainy day in over a month is insane. This is the weather we travel to attain in Southern Europe. I have been on a sunny vacation in my own home for 2 months now, and I'm both excited and dying at the same time. How do you react when someone greets you in the street because you're a blogger? I get so happy. It just reminds me that I'm doing all of this for a real audience, and I also meet a lot of foreigners who study in Denmark and tells me that my videos have helped them. And then afterwards I always get really nervous because I'm afraid I've somehow disappointed the person. Easiest way to move to Denmark if you're a non-EU citizen. Tak. I quickly want to address this even though I don't have an answer for it because I get this question so much, both in private messages and in the comments. Some even find my business email and contact me there, and I just want to say that I have lived in Denmark for my entire life, so I know absolutely nothing about the laws and rules of moving to Denmark as a foreigner. Yes, I could spend a lot of time and do a lot of research and tell you, but this is such a serious life thing, and I do not want to be responsible for bringing you lacking or false information. I'm sorry, but right there you guys will have to do your own research. Advice for Americans moving to Denmark. Thanks, love your videos. Oh, thank you so much. I'd say as long as you don't get into discussing politics, you'll be just fine. Can this be on your video? Yes. Yes, it can. Do you plan on doing YouTube full-time? If not, what is your other career choice? I do not plan on doing YouTube full time. It would just not be realistic for me as it is now. There's this big misconception of how much YouTubers actually make, and you will have to have several hundred thousands of subscribers and even more views per month to actually be able to pay normal people bills. From ads on YouTube, I make maybe 15% of what my monthly bills require me to make, so I'm not joking when I say I do this because I love it. As for your second question, I am a multimedia designer with specialization within video and animation. What color is your graduation cap? Hashtag Team Red. 1 second. Fordi den rigtige hue, den er rød, den er rød. Og hvis huen, den er blå. Så vi skulle ikke tage den samme uddannelse. And if you're not from Denmark and don't know what the fuck this is, then I have this video for you. The sun has been moving. What is your favorite thing about YouTubing and what's your least? My favorite thing about being a YouTuber must be that I am able to create something of my own liking and then get instant feedback on it. I love entertaining people, and the feedback I get from you guys are absolutely everything to me. My least favorite thing about YouTube doesn't really have that much to do with YouTube, but you know, within all professions you would like to be constantly moving forward and to see progress. And because I've been studying the past 2 years and I've chosen YouTube over a better paying part-time job, I haven't really been able to afford much. I mean, I haven't really been able to improve my equipment and setup. I edit all of my videos on a 13-inch laptop, and it takes me 1.5 hours to render a video which is over 10 minutes long, which is basically all of my videos. And I can just hear my computer coughing as it's rendering, and I have been so terrified about something happening to that computer because that would have been it. I can't afford a new one. There have just been so many times where I've been like, I really want to do this, but I kind of need this thing to do it, so I guess we won't do it then. Yeah, you know, I've just been feeling kind of stuck, so fingers crossed for me getting that insanely cool job that I've applied for. And I'm not telling you what it is because of that whole deal that if I tell you and then I don't get it, like, what's your star sign? I love, love, love your videos. Oh, thank you so much. And I'm a Capricorn, and if you're interested in that sort of stuff, you might like this video. DC or Marvel? Yes. That is the question, right? I've always said that I like the Marvel superheroes the best, but DC has the best villains. Why am I traveling when I could just stay at home? Me, every time I leave the house. Why Danish girls are so shy, why they need alcohol for interaction with strangers. You know, Danish people don't really make an effort to interact with strangers in their daily life. Danes usually like to mind their own business when they are just out casually running their everyday errands, so for many it's very much out of their comfort zone to talk to strangers. It's cultural. Your brother is very funny. Is he going to be in any more of your videos? Well, that depends. Do you guys want to see Casper in another video? And I promise you that video won't be sponsored by an American company. Don't get me wrong, my brother cracks me up, and you might not know this, but I have learned to be discreet with my jokes because, well, people already have a hard time deciphering whether I'm joking or not. Casper is basically the unfiltered version of myself. I have 5 minutes of bloopers of Casper saying hilarious, inappropriate shit. I tried to sneak some of it in the video, but no. And yes, to those of you who are awake, it was Casper who sent this, so now, go annoy him. You have my blessing. Anyway, video ideas with Casper included are very much welcome. Just comment below as always. So that was it for this video, guys. I hope you liked it, and thank you so much for all of your questions. And I'm sorry I can't answer every single one of them, but you get it, like, this video is already very long. Also, many of you guys took the opportunity to actually send in some video requests, and don't worry, I've written them all down. They are taken into account. Can you even say that? Like, taken into account? Yeah, I think you can. Other than that, leave a thumbs up if you like this video, subscribe to me if you want more, and hit that bell button because I really want your beautiful face to get the notification for my next video. Bye!